Just don't think he understands government. If you ask him a couple of questions, he never gives you an answer. He just says, I'm a no.
You got to take some of the attacks with a grain of salt. But I didn't feel attacked in there. I think he was just trying to persuade people who weren't there yet.
This will not raise the deficit. What do you say to them?
Nobody says that.
The White House said that.
Who is saying
the White House said that.
Is the president okay with this bill adding to the deficit?
This bill does not add to the deficit.
I mean, over here, the people in favor of this bill say that under the policies of this bill, we're going to add $20 trillion to debt over the next 10 years, which is $3.5 to $5 trillion more than would have been added otherwise. And that's just a fact.
So they're not.
I mean, that's under rosy assumptions.
Yeah, they're saying it's deficit neutral.
No, that's a joke.
That was Thomas Massey. I really like Massey, actually. So I will be talking a lot more about that tomorrow, but I just wanted to introduce that clip because that just barely happened. So welcome to the show. I've got Midwest Melissa with me in this hour, followed by Susan. And how are you, Melissa?
Oh, I am just fine. It's Wednesday, so I'm always good.
Always
Unless,
good.
of course, the Midwest is Midwesting and we're under some weird weather thing, but that's not happening.
Oh my gosh, you guys are always, it's like the weather is huge. I mean, it's just a huge topic all the time, huh? Holy cow.
I was talking with a friend, and the most Midwestern experience of all is to sit in your living room watching some YouTube meteorologist while some other part of the Midwest is having a disaster happen. That is like what we do.
That is so true.
It's like better than many things that you could watch on TV.
Oh my gosh. I just want to say, because we're not going to talk about this today, more likely tomorrow, but I just wanted to say that I really like Massey. I like it when he stands up to everybody, when he says this is not okay. And I really like that about him. And he is probably the rarest bird right now that we've got in Congress because they're all so bought. So it's kind of an interesting war that's going on in the press, though. And so I'll talk more about that bill tomorrow and what it actually does to the deficit. I've got a lot of details on that for tomorrow.
What I'm hearing you say is that you like contrarians, right?
I do. I like
that's shocking.
I do. Well, you're in shock. Well, it's just so rare these days, but there is this thing playing out in the press, and I'll talk about that because there's two different theories on it, and there's the theory, Trump's master plan theory versus what's actually happening to the deficit. So it'll be interesting tomorrow. Anyway, all right. So Trump was also meeting with South Africa's leader.
Yes. The president of South Africa, President. I hope I say this right. Ramaphosa.
Okay.
I think that's right.
We'll go with it.
Yeah. And this is kind of an amazing thing. So they're having this meeting, and Trump called for the lights to be turned down, and he played a video to Ramaphosa of an assembly member, Julius Malema, who is an avowed communist, publicly supporting white genocide in South Africa. And so he's like confronting the president of South Africa with what's going on in his country.
Interesting.
So apparently Trump was like, turn the lights down, just play this footage, right? And the footage showed the South African parliament member calling for killing as part of the revolution.
Wow.
And so, of course, the media is in the room, and they're all having an absolute fit.
Yeah.
And apparently Trump addressed the NBC reporter and called him disgusting and kicked him out.
Interesting.
It is very interesting. I think it takes a lot of courage for our president to confront another head of state. It's not all nicey nice.
Right.
We're so used to everything being, we're just going to be so civil and so polite. And he turned the lights down and showed him video of someone in their government and a government official calling for white genocide.
Wow. Well, that was a good move. So bad move about Massey, good move about South Africa? Maybe?
Hard to say. I mean, it's a mixed bag in DC these days.
Every day is like this. I know, I'm serious. It's weird. It's bizarre. Every day, it's like this little
just wait
thing
till
was
the end of
good.
the hour. I can account for the bizarreness.
Oh my gosh. These three things are not so good. Wow. Okay. So yes, we'll keep going. Go ahead. I know you've got a lot for today.
It's just wild to think that
the magical mystery tour. We're on the magical mystery tour. I'm pretty sure
we are on the magical mystery tour, but it's weird for me to consider. We are so used to having there's really urgent issues that need to be addressed in the country. And the way we address them is by having a tea party and everybody looking at each other and, so civil, and we're so polite.
I know.
Until you get to like Portland, Oregon, and there, burn the whole town down. That's okay.
Yeah.
But back in Congress, we're just being super nice to one another.
In Oregon,
and butter wouldn't melt in our mouth. But here's Trump actually just like, well, what about this? What are you going to say about this?
In Oregon, they're emotional twits. I'm sorry if there's a lot of emotional twits in Oregon. It's just all run on emotion, and so there's that. So we'll move that aside. But it is interesting that you say that, though, because I've noticed it so much in my own state of Utah is the let's all be nice, because that means you're a good person. You're a good person if you don't call out all the BS. You're good. And if you do, you're somebody that wants to burn the barn down. So you should not involve yourself. If you want to call anything out, you are just somebody that can't get along with anybody, and you're just mean. And then you're nice if you just shut up. It is amazing to watch, for sure.
Well, we live in the world right now of go along and get along.
Yeah.
And hey, let's vote for the most outrageous thing. Let's raise the debt by bazillions and bazillions, quadrillions of dollars. But as long as we're all polite about it, it'll all be good.
Yes. As long as you stay on your side.
If anybody stands up and says, no, not that, then, oh my gosh, who would, what? You're causing so many problems here.
I know. It's all about the side. See, you have to shore up the side. And if the side wants to go into the massive trillions of debt, and it has to do with the 2017 bill too that goes into effect, supposed to go into effect 2026. I can't talk today, and here we're nearing 226. But yeah, it is kind of amazing that you have to be on the side. So no matter what the side wants, it's okay. No matter what the side decides on, it's okay, because you have to stay on the side, because you have to be loyal to the side. And if you're not loyal to the side, you're the problem and you want to burn the barn down. It is the weirdest playbook, but it's such a tactic. And they have been doing this for a long time, because both sides cause us to argue, right? They love the arguing. We're so tired of arguing that just going along to get along, like you just said, seems to be the answer, because there's relief attached to it. So we go, oh, no more fighting. Let's just let bygones be bygones. And it's horrible, because that means we're not standing up for the truth and we're not fighting anything. Oh,
well, do you remember, it was back several years ago now, like many years ago, that we decided as a country, we didn't want any of this partisan bickering in our political ads. We don't want attack ads. We don't like attack ads. Just go out there and represent who you are. And I think that actually kind of dumbed us all down.
Yeah.
Not that I like attack ads, but if the other side is doing something that they need to be called out on, then for goodness sake, call them out.
Right.
And if they can't take the heat, then they shouldn't be running for political office. And there's a difference between making like a personal attack. Oh, his mother wears combat boots kind of attack. And this guy has this record. Look at the record he has. And how can he explain this? Yeah. I think we've kind of conflated a lot of things, and it's turned into just mush everywhere.
I know. And so people are just mistaking the unity for I think I'm a really classy, nice person because I'm in unity now, and we all got to be in unity. And so it doesn't even matter if we're in unity on the wrong principles. It just matters that we're in unity.
But we're really not in unity. That's the thing.
We're really not.
We're not unified. We're less unified now than we have been in a long time.
Yep.
Because we can never really address actual important issues.
I know.
Because we can't speak real truth anymore. We can't be authentic and speak real things to one another, because that would be, ooh, that might make somebody feel bad. That might trigger somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Well, maybe we need to have those hard conversations again.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. I know. It's bizarre.
Well, what do you think about Trump kicking out an NBC reporter?
That was
calling
interesting.
him. Here's the quote. Apparently, Trump said, "You're a disgrace. No more questions from you. NBC should be investigated."
Okay, those are the things I actually like about Trump. When I say I like Trump, I like that he does that. It is all optics, but I do like it. I mean, a part of me is just cheering, going, "Yes, please, just tell all of them that." They're all so horrifying. So, yeah,
well, it's been interesting. Have you been watching any of the alternative media people in any of the press conferences? It's been interesting. They ask different questions. They really do. And I think we're watching the end of the mainstream media and a shift into kind of citizen journalism. And I think it's a good thing. I think that is one of the most positive things that we have seen lately.
Yeah.
There's so many options anymore.
Right.
Get your news from the people that you think are telling truth.
Yeah.
And there's many options now.
Well, and
many.
It's not the news coming out of the AP, as I say so often. And censorship is more real right now than it's ever been, and happening all around us. And I can say that for a fact. It is going on, and censorship it's huge because the right and the left have been so taken over. Now it is certain talking points, and everyone has to abide by those, and all the hosts, the hosts out there abide by those, and they usually get people that don't know much about politics in the positions of media, and they just repeat the script. So that's what we're looking at. And if you're not listening to somebody that's debating it or bringing it up, then you're just listening to the talking points being handed out by the Pentagon, because it really is sourced from the Pentagon. It's just a matter of how it trickles down to us, and then lands on our TV, and then lands in all the way down to local news. It's just how it works.
That's why alternative media is so important.
And alternative media that is actually telling the truth is even more rare of a bird now. Be right back. Kate Dalley Show. More with Midwest Melissa when I come back. KateDalleyRadio.com.
I hear every day about the products you all wish MyPillow carried. Well, guess what? We probably do. Slippers, bathrobes, pet beds, blankets, mattresses, sleepwear, loungewear, duvets, comforters, pot holders, aprons, oven mitts, and so much more. And they're all on sale. For example, get our best-selling standard MyPillows for only $14.98. Body pillows, $29.98. 6-piece bath towels or kitchen towel sets, just $29.98. Multi-use MyPillow 2.0s with pillowcase, $9.98. Save $40 on our Spring Percale and Giza Dream bedsheet sets. Any size, any color, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save up to 80% on all MyPillow products. And I've never done this before. When you spend $100 or more, you're going to get 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Sorry, I had trouble with my buttons. Sorry about that. Welcome back. I've got Midwest Melissa with me. Welcome back to the Kate Dalley Show. You can go to KateDalleyRadio.com, and Dalley is spelled like Valley. How easy is that? And also allfamilypharmacy.com /Kate. And when you go there, you can order up, get things sent to your home. They're doctor scripts. They have them in-house. People were asking me for quite a while to please refer them someplace where they could get things in advance, because what's the big topic today with a lot of talk show hosts out there too is, hey, Spain went dark. Could we? And for an extended period of time, do you have what you need? You okay? Because I want to make sure that you do. And this is a place you can go without having to go to find a doctor to go to that will write you a script. You can actually go to allfamilypharmacy.com /Kate. The link is right on my website. Just scroll down and you can order refills and have things that you need. Okay. All right. And use the code Kate10 because it'll give you 10% off too. Okay. Midwest Melissa.
Yeah, let's shift gears.
Okay.
Kind of a similar type topic. Let's talk a little bit about free speech in a different part of the world.
Okay.
So, to set the scene here, do you remember the Southport stabbings, the little girls in the UK that were killed at a Taylor Swift dance party, right?
Okay.
And it kind of lit up Britain. And there were riots, and a lot of the man that was accused of doing it is I'm not sure he was an immigrant, but he has an immigrant background. And people were very rightly angered by it. So Lucy Connelly, the wife of a conservative counselor, got on X and put out one tweet. Only one. And what she said was, here's the quote. I'll censor it for radio. Mass deportation now. Set fire to all the effing hotels full of all that blank for all I care. If that makes me a racist, so be it.
Oh, geez. Okay.
That's what she said. And she then had police at her doorstep. They arrested her for inciting violence. Right?
Okay.
And she got a 2.5-year prison sentence.
Ooh.
She she almost immediately after she posted that, she almost immediately retracted it, took it back.
Okay.
She apologized for it. She does not have a criminal record of any kind. Several of the people involved in the actual violence that was directed at the immigrant hotels and the situation there received sentences shorter than hers. She has now gone, she had an appeal, and just this, let's see, this week or late last week, she lost her appeal. The judge says, no dice, the sentence sticks. So let's talk a little bit about free speech. Britain gave the world, in a lot of ways, free speech. It's part of our legacy from England, if you will, that we embraced free speech here, that there were things that you could say. What the standard in the United States for incitement, the threshold legally is that you have to indicate a specific time and a specific place. She did not do that. She didn't say, hey, everybody, let's meet at 3:00 and go burn down the immigrant hotels.
Right.
She was simply expressing her frustration and displeasure at the situation generally, right?
Right.
But that's not how they see it in the UK. And so she lost her appeal. They said, nope, sorry, you're going to stay. They said because their standard is if you are using a position of trust, authority, or influence to stir up hatred, that is incitement of violence.
Interesting. Yeah.
So what do you think?
Well, I got accused of that just to tell people to go to their public meetings. I was like, that's not that.
You were inciting people?
Yeah, I was telling them about their public meetings. I wasn't, and I got accused
Incitement to citizenry participation.
It was ridiculous. Yes. Don't go to the local meetings you're supposed to go to. I mean, by all means, right? Okay, be right back, Kate.
Well, hello, everybody. It's Annie Cyrus. Welcome to my art studio where all the magic happens. This is the station for painting, and that is the station for all the resin art I do. If you want to check out my art, all you gotta do is go to lutfstudio.com. But I'm sure, for at least I hope, I'll see you at lutfstudio.com.
By the way, I'm out Friday and Monday, and It is a long weekend, and I've had that planned for quite a while. So I'm just letting everyone know. And of course, this hour brought to you by the ingestion of a white Monster energy drink mixed with coconut cream. Just letting you guys know. I got 0 sleep last night. A few hours anyway. So there you go. And I know, and it's horrible for me. It's horrible. I even know that it's horrible, but I'm doing it anyway. It's a rare thing, but I did do it. And also, this show brought to you by Patriot Radio, Canyon Media Studios in St. George. They host the show nationwide. So glad to be with you. I've got Melissa with me, Midwest Melissa. And I also just wanted to mention MyPillow, mypillow.com. And you do the code word Kate, the slippers, the dog beds. They have the Giza cotton sheets on sale right now for like nothing. I mean, they really are nice. And then also the pillows too, and everything is up to 80% off. So you might want to take advantage of that with the code Kate. And wedding gifts, graduation gifts. These are all amazing gifts from MyPillow. And then it's a twofer because you're helping truth stay on the air in the last little morsel in America that remains to be completely truthful with you. So that's fun. Okay, Midwest Melissa.
Okay, let's kind of pivot around, but with a similar sort of thinking process.
Yes.
This is what I have affectionately called the do something inappropriate that starts with a bad letter and find out file. Okay. So we have LaMonica McIver is a New Jersey representative. And she appeared at one of the New Jersey immigration holding areas. And she and a group of other people that were with her proceeded to basically assault the immigration officers that were there, the law enforcement that was there.
Okay.
All right. So
why?
And because they were not going to let her in.
Ah.
She had not prearranged this. They were not, and she, in the, like, I have a right to be here. You have to let me in. Well, they don't have to let her in unless she prearranges it, right?
Right.
So the state attorney general in New Jersey they contacted her and another guy. Let's see who it is. The mayor, New Jersey Mayor Ross Barca. And they told them, look, if we can't get this worked out, we'd like to work something out with you. Let's work on how we can resolve this whole situation. Apparently the mayor resolved it with the attorney general, but LaMonica said, I will not, and just like escalated it. Said that that she never hit anybody. She never touched anybody, and that they were not wearing ID. Well, they have video of the whole incident. And she was actually with a closed fist punching these law enforcement officers, and they're all wearing ID. That can be seen in the video.
Oh, geez.
So now the New Jersey State Attorney General has said, we have offered her the opportunity to settle this in an amicable way. She's refusing and escalating. So now we're going to press charges. And now she's angry. Imagine that.
Why do we care about Lucy? She sounds like a weirdo.
Right.
Anyway.
Well, we should care about Lucy because that's the thing. In Britain, Keir Starmer, who's the prime minister, they call him two-tier Keir because there's one set of justice rules for some people and a different set of rules depending on who you are.
Right.
And that is the lever by which censorship is happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
And look, this is what's happening to LaMonica McIver here. If it happened under Joe Biden, would anything have happened to her?
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
So, we have there's a new game in town. And so now LaMonica doesn't know what to do. Now, the mayor, Ross Barca, the people at the immigration center have said, we would be happy to host you. We don't have anything to hide. Make an appointment.
Yeah.
We'll take you through. We'll give you a guided tour through the whole facility. You can see anything you want.
Right.
Just let us know, and we'll set it up.
So she's
So apparently
grandstanding
he's
for
going to
somebody.
do that, but she's grandstanding.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, she's grandstanding.
Yeah. Wonder if it's the same
So
group
that's-
that got AOC hired. I'm just wondering. Just thinking out loud. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Well, it could be, but we can add a
You never
lot
know.
of things to this list. Not
Mhm.
she's just kind of the lead dog of the sled team here.
Mm-hmm.
We have Judge Hannah Dugan,
Mm-hmm.
who smuggled an illegal alien out the
Mhm.
back door of her courtroom.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that little
Yeah.
story?
Mm-hmm.
To evade ICE arrest. She is now being indicted by a federal grand jury.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is FAFO, right?
Right.
We have who else? Let's see.
I just
We have
wonder
Jake-
sometimes if it's these groups because like Justice Democrats hired the squad, Omar,
could be.
Tlaib, AOC, and they're so busy doing so many things like this. It would not surprise me to see somebody conjured up to grandstand in this way. Okay, you had other names too. Sorry.
Well, some other
Mhm.
things going on. There's Senator Chris Van Hollen,
Mm-hmm.
who apparently was in El Salvador to advocate for a gang member that was imprisoned in El Salvador. And so he's getting torn up by Marco Rubio
Mm-hmm.
because these people are ridiculous. Why would you go to El Salvador and advocate for an MS-13 member to be brought back to the U.S.?
I
What
don't
is
know.
the possible end game
We've
there?
got a lot of issues going on with spying and censorship and everything else that's happening in this country, our food supply and everything. I really could care less about El Salvador. I really could care less about certain distractions in the press that are supposed to just take us off of the issues that aren't getting solved here and solved constitutionally here. You know what I mean?
But this is the mainstream media playbook.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Democrat Party playbook.
Yeah.
And people are just we're being manipulated.
Again
And
again.
anybody who's not on that playbook is
Mhm.
being shut down, canceled,
Well,
shut up.
It's
all of
this.
that.
It's this. Right? It's the Magical Mystery Tour. I feel like it's
I am the
daily.
walrus. Can we sing I Am the Walrus now?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's endless. It's endless. Yeah. And it's all a stage. It's horrendous. And we've got to do things that we're not doing. And I don't know how to get that across anymore. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. And we're seeing a lot of censorship across the country. A lot of people doing the bidding of politicians, trying to get cozy with them, not exposing anything. And then there's the talking points that come down from the Pentagon. So either way you go, and sometimes it's both, it's very fascinating to watch the media and how intent they are on reading the script and not ever asking anything.
Well,
I'm
Don't
always
you think?
blown away.
I think there's a lot of politicians who are taking marching orders from somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
There, I
They're-
don't think Monica McIver. I don't think it was her brainchild to go and beat up a law enforcement officer.
Yeah, there's APAC. There's all
Seriously.
kinds of groups, and they get told what to do, and then there's the orchestration of the media, right? So certain stories, and it hits all over the country, and it's the story, and everyone's supposed to keep eyeballs on it, right? So, don't look at anything else. It's very, very strange. And it is the Magical Mystery Tour every single day. We're going to come right back. You're going to bring up a theory that people believe in. This is a
Right.
theory
And
that
maybe
people.
it explains all of this.
This is utterly fascinating. So we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. You got to hear about this. Be right back. Kate Dalley Show, KateDalleyRadio.com with Midwest Melissa on a Wednesday. Be right back.
Hello, everyone. I'm excited to announce the next generation of energy drinks, Rev 7. It has no sugar and no caffeine. Instead, Rev 7 uses Go BHB. Go BHB is one of the body's primary ketones, and it provides the most efficient and clean fuel that your body needs. It also helps you stay energized all day with no crashes. Not only that, it produces 3 times more brain energy than sugar, which helps boost your memory, focus, and mental sharpness. It also helps reduce stress and helps balance your mood. Rev 7 does all that while being the best tasting energy drink ever. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 20% today. I'm so sure you're going to love Rev 7. For a limited time, you get our introductory 3-pack absolutely free. I drink Rev 7 every day and I absolutely love it, and so will you.
And I knew there was no turning back. My mind raced, and I thought, what could I do?
Yep.
And I knew
Bluegrass.
there was no help,
But
help from
thunder. Thunderstruck. Love it.
sound of the drums.
Love it. All right, welcome back. Kate Dalley Show. That ought to bring back some memories for you of the 80s. And welcome back on the Wednesday show with Midwest Melissa. And you got to love it when bluegrass takes on heavy metal. I think it's cool. Anyway, I like it. Okay, and just make sure you get to the site. The sponsors are there. The remineralization of your teeth needs to happen. You guys, it's $20. Get it. And get the mouthwash too. Get the one that whitens as well. And you will love these products. I promise you'll love them. Your mouth's going to feel clean and tingly. You're going to love this. And it's actually feeding your teeth with those minerals. So we all need to do it. Okay, I just give up today. Remineralize your teeth. All right, Midwest Melissa, we got to hear about the theory. Let's go.
Okay, here's the theory. Well, I'll ask you some questions to see if maybe you'll take the bait.
Okay.
Do you ever just feel like something is amiss in the world?
Every
Like,
day.
We just, yeah, right. I knew you were going to say that. That
Every hour.
something has changed. The zeitgeist has changed. Just something is weird and different in the air that we breathe now, right?
Yeah, I mean, I know we're more
And
stupid, but what? Where are you going?
I don't know how to put my finger quite on it, but maybe it's the 1988 anomaly.
What is the
Ooh, can we play-
1988 anomaly? Oh, I can't wait.
Okay, so there's a theory out there that in 1988, now we can go down several different paths, but it all is focused on 1988. Either there was a mass extinction event and the entire earth reset afterward, and they whoever they are, the whole global system was reset and the backup was downloaded, and all of us that were alive in 1988, we don't know that it happened because they just dumped that backup into our heads and we continue on. But we all know something's weird. It's different now than it was then.
Interesting.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, I've
interesting.
done
That's one
shows.
theory.
I've done shows on the Mandela Effect, right? So,
Well,
which is compelling.
The Mandela Effect
Mandela
has
effect.
to do with the fact that there is some bleed through. Those of us that remember that time before the mass extinction or the CERN quantum physics leap or the mass reset or the matrix was interrupted, it goes by all kinds of different ways to think about it.
Yeah.
But we have memories that have bled through the 1988 event, whatever it was. And that's why we're puzzled that we remember something different.
Right.
It accounts for the Mandela effect.
That's interesting.
That's why.
Because things were
Because the
going
whole-
well. I mean, look at our hair, makeup, and clothing in the 80s. Things were going well for us and moving in the good direction. So in 1988, it was kind of like this shift or extinction event or what? Like the shift? Obviously not
Yes.
extinction. I'm still
You
here, but
take your pick. You can pick any one of those. Whichever thread suits you, take
Okay.
that path. But whatever it was,
okay.
in 1988, everything changed and it's never been the same. And I have written in my notes, how do we know it was not a CIA psyop that changed us all? But let's not go down that path. Let's instead engage and indulge ourselves in thinking that there was a mass extinction event none of us remember and everything was reset, that the entire matrix reset.
But why?
And
why though? I mean, what? For what?
Well, some people say it was a CERN quantum error. Something happened. Some other people are asserting that perhaps it was an alien invasion that reset everything. I mean, you take your pick. It is the mothership of all freaky, weird, fun,
Theories.
conspiracy theories all rolled into one.
That
It's
is
just fabulous,
interesting.
but it accounts for why, like, we're just like, oh my gosh, could we just go back to a simpler time when people were rational? Oh, well, there's that 1988 effect, and we all went nuts.
What, did the fluoride kick in the 80s? I mean, massively? I don't know. Did they start putting massive quantities in? I don't know. But
Well, that would be a different thing.
Well,
that would not be the 1988 effect. That would be the fluoride effect. But maybe that's part of it.
Because the only reason
Who
I was
knows?
thinking that I could see them coming up with the 1999 effect because of the year 2000 and everybody was freaked, right? And they were just on the edge of losing everything. Then we had the Mayan calendar, remember that? And so
Yeah,
people, so I even had an end of the world party as a joke, like I was mocking it. But anyway, so this is kind of fascinating. So there are people that believe that that this event happened and then everything was kind of skewed.
You'll be able to recognize them because of the tinfoil hat they're wearing. But this is really just a seriously out there theory. But it's a thought experiment.
Well,
how do we know what reality really is?
It would explain the mom jeans of the 90s, though. I mean, and the boy bands.
There you go.
And the outfits that the boy bands wore. So there could have been a tremendous shift to make us feel like that was,
think about it, Kate, I'm going to come back next week and you're going to be going, I've been thinking about that 1988 thing, and I think you may be right.
I had just graduated from high school a few years before that, and things were going well. I was up in Idaho going to school, and I'm trying to think back to that time. It was right after like Dirty Dancing came out, those kinds of movies. And
it was the first of The Simpsons.
It was the first
Think of
of
that.
The Simpsons. Hey, The Simpsons have called it. They've called it many times.
They have. And so it was also the very beginnings of the internet kind of making its way into our private, personal, like home computer stuff was just beginning. Right. What else we had? Digital media, CGI generated images were becoming in the vogue. Pixar did their first
interesting
thing in 1988. The Iran-Iraq war was ending. Pan Am Flight 103. Think about how innocent the world was before 1988. And then after 1988, it all begins to come unglued.
There was a piece that said the 1988 anomaly unraveling the year that rewrote reality. That's funny.
Right.
I didn't even know about this one, and I've read a lot, and I honestly did not know about the 1988 thing. That's an interesting.
But now that I've told you about it, you're going to think about it, and you're going to go, "Oh my gosh, Melissa is right."
Yeah.
It's not my theory. Trust me. I mean, I'm not right. There's somebody out there that thought this one up.
I was kind of happy that we segued out of 80s hair, but still, I would like to know what was rewritten.
Talked about, think about the revival of 80s music and 80s toys and all kinds of 80s things have come back because people are longing for that last brief, sweet moment. And I thought, well, what is it? Aquanet hasn't come back yet.
It was the end of Aquanet.
Back.
That's all I'm going to say. It was the end of Aquanet. Oh, how I loved Aquanet. Okay. Well, I'll be right. Thanks, Melissa. I'll be right back with Susan. Don't go anywhere. Kate Dalley Show. You got to hear about the next pandemic. You're going to just die.
I hear every day about the products you all wish MyPillow carried. Well, guess what? We probably do. Slippers, bathrobes, pet beds, blankets, mattresses, sleepwear, loungewear, duvets, comforters, pot holders, aprons, oven mitts, and so much more. And they're all on sale. For example, get our best-selling standard MyPillows for only $14.98. Body pillows, $29.98. 6-piece bath towels or kitchen towel sets, just $29.98. Multi-use MyPillow 2.0s with pillowcase, $9.98. Save $40 on our Spring Percale and Giza Dream bedsheet sets. Any size, any color, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save up to 80% on all MyPillow products. And I've never done this before. When you spend $100 or more, you're going to get 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free.
Grain of salt. But I didn't feel attacked in there. I think he was just trying to persuade people who weren't there yet.
Well, not raise the deficit. What do you say to them?
Nobody says that.
The White House said that.
Who is saying
the White House said that.
Is the president okay with this bill adding to the deficit?
This bill does not add to the deficit.
I mean, over here, the people in favor of this bill say that under the policies of this bill, we're going to add $20 trillion to debt over the next 10 years, which is $3.5 to $5 trillion more than would have been added otherwise. And that's just a fact.
So they're not.
I mean, that's under rosy assumptions.
Yeah, they're saying it's deficit neutral.
No, that's a joke.
All right. Yeah, I played it again in this hour. That was Trump, and then, of course, Thomas Massey and the Kermit the Frog reporter's weird voice. But anyway, that was Thomas Massey, and Thomas Massey's right. It will add, and I will discuss that on tomorrow's show in detail on how it does it, because there's quite the squabble going on, right? So I'll get to the heart of that tomorrow, and it is the media coverage of this squabble is pretty fascinating. Thomas Massey has been pretty consistently speaking up for principles. And so, no, I don't agree with Trump. And it's all optics and, I don't know, fighting. And of course, the bill's going to go through, right? It will. So I'm here with Susan Reeve. How are you, Susan?
I'm doing great, Kate.
Excellent. So every Wednesday, Susan comes on with me. And all right, so there's that. Where do you want to start? Because we have so many things on the docket for this hour.
Well, I want to start actually. So if we can talk about bird flu for a minute, we've kind of forgotten about the flu panic, right? They were panicking, the bird flu. And so there was an article on CBS News that said, bird flu in humans hasn't been officially seen in the US in 3 months. We just don't know why. So their pandemic fizzled. And now there's a news article saying, oh, we're speculating why it's fizzling. So of course they are going to look at budget cuts and the people who have left, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the USDA. They said there were cuts there.
It's all for optics.
But then, then they said, oh gosh, there's a natural reason because the vector are wild birds. And so if the migration stopped, they said, then the virus isn't spreading. They also said, what about the roundups of illegal immigrants? Maybe illegal immigrants are so terrified to come forward if they feel sick. But they said the majority of anybody getting sick are just the super mild infection. And so it's just fascinating that it's like a multi-page article about why.
I'm just wondering, did we kill all the bats? I was just wondering if we killed all the bats en masse. I mean, we should have if we blamed Blovid on a bat. We should have killed all the bats, right? I mean, I'm just wondering, did we do that? Did we smoke them out?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, we didn't?
No.
Okay. So
Somehow
we did.
They didn't want to do that.
Yes. So we did go after the chickens, like the food supply staple. And now we hear from Sputnik News that this is going to cats. So now we have the cat. Sorry. We have the cat flu pandemic, which is very interesting given the fact that how is it jumping from that to that? It's just a question because it doesn't make sense, and because I'm just wondering, like, does it go to hamsters next? Does it go to snakes next? I don't know. I was just kind of curious as to where it goes, but it reminded me of this. You guys remember this?
From Sony Pictures Studios, it's America's Game.
Fear. I just love the smell of fear.
It's the fear that's coming. Be very afraid. It's coming. The cat flu is on its way.
They had to include a quote. Somebody told 60 Minutes recently, we are at risk of this virus evolving. Reality is none of us know whether this is next week, next year, or never.
So
he says, I don't think it's never, but it may be here far sooner than any of us would like. So what are you talking about?
Okay, so does the chicken crap in the cat's mouth and then the cat craps in a human's mouth? I'm trying to figure out how it's all getting there's cows.
There's
the wheel
cows
of fear. Oh.
cow's milk.
Okay.
Milk goes to the cat. Some of the cats are dying, but they are so concerned. But they really need this to be a pandemic. They're passionate about their work. And what happens when your job fizzles out? There's nothing there. So
I'm starting to meow already. I mean, it's getting there. I'm perplexed. Yes, the cat. I never thought we'd all die of the cat flu. I mean, I made a joke on the way out of the last hour. I was like, you got to hear about this new pandemic. You're going to die. I didn't mean really, because it's all feardom. This is all. I mean, they're starting to go a little whack jobby in the way that they're presenting the fear. Because if people are buying that cats got the avian flu from birds who got it. So the bird crapped. Okay, so the bird crapped in the chicken's mouth and the chicken crapped in the bird. Okay, I'm trying to follow along because we're down 4 steps now because it's supposed to go to us. Okay.
Yeah, there's the cows in the milk too. I don't know how it goes.
Yeah, I don't think it's in the milk.
To the cows.
I remember Brian Artist came on. He goes, no, that actually has to crap in your mouth for you to get said thing. So I'm just trying to follow the evolution of disease here. So interesting.
Well, we can sleep well knowing that it's not happening now. So I'm sure that any little spike and they will set off the alarms. But it's just one of those things in the background. It's like, what happened to that? Oh, they don't know either. Okay. Okay. So anyway, it's good news. I think it's
good news.
It is actual good news.
Well, there's 4 steps it has to take. So I mean, and it even has to go from the bat too, really. I mean, I don't know how many people out there are associating with a bat or the bat's near your mouth, but I'm just trying to follow along. It's, they're going to need like books to explain the evolution, I think, by chapter. I don't know just how
they need a chart.
It works.
They need a chart. Maybe that's what they should do. Spend time making a chart. But it really is good news. And I have more good news. This is actually about Biden, who is now dying from, bless his heart, prostate cancer, Gleason level 9. And if you read the survival rates for men ages 50 to 59, the 5-year survival rate is near 100%. Men age 60 to 69, it's 98% to 100% survival. And men in his age category, it's 95 to 98% survival. Now, he has told us he hasn't gotten tested for 10 years.
Right.
No doctor in their right mind would not test a man for 10 years. So there's just speculation that they knew all along. It's fine. It came out the same time this new book came out talking about his dementia. And then who was running the government? Who was using the auto pen?
Or it's fakery. Fakery all the way around, because no one talks about him being illegitimate. No one said that they plopped him in there and then tried to tell everybody he was the most popular man in history, even including and compared to George Washington. So, yeah, I don't even believe it, actually. I actually think it was a big, huge ruse that they're trying to put that character of Biden down. It's just how they're trying to figure out how to do it, and then they get everybody talking about that and never about the illegitimacy of our elections. So it's a great way to do it, right? Because cancer is empathetic, so you can't say anything about it or you're the bad guy.
Yeah, well, people are saying stuff about it, and the good news too is that schools, I believe in Kansas, have a curriculum now to study the corruption in the 2020 election. And so the news media has just been blistering in their response to that, calling it a conspiracy theory. But they've created a curriculum. There must be data. And so bless their hearts for including high school students in this. I think it's fantastic.
Well,
let's look.
It was funny. Zero Hedge actually put out a really weird article yesterday and said Biden was our full deep state, the first full deep state president. And I'm like, yeah, actually, that's been going on 100 years. But 2020 was just the most obvious, in your face. We're going to lie to you, and you're going to know we're lying, and we're going to put this guy in, and we're even going to tell such a whopper of a lie. We're going to actually say he was the most popular man in history. when no one on the planet respected him at all. So I'm laughing just because it's such optics. It's like, we want you to believe this and you're stupid enough. And so here we go. And that when I refer to 2020, that's what I'm talking about. It's like it's been controlled for a long time, but I'm always talking about the fact that that was more in your face. They didn't even try to steal it. They just stole it and just said, no. Like, yeah. Like you can't do a thing about it, right? Because there was a lot of bigger plans behind it all.
Well, and there was something like the 15 bellwether states that always go along with who wins the presidency went for Trump. And then here comes Biden.
Yeah.
So it makes no sense even on paper. And
well, it's
great.
It's like Trump said. Trump said on election day, and I'll never forget this because I had been saying this for like a year. He said, well, you know, things got very, very crazy, and that's why I was put in, right? And I do think that there is a big component of that. Ratchet up the level of crazy, so that in the second term of his, that it looks more normal. But we're not. I don't think we're actually going to get a lot of things through, if anything, because it will always be now the excuse of the deep state won't, or the left won't let us, even though we have a majority. So very weird times that we're living in. Like I told Melissa in the last hour, the magical mystery tour every day, you know, it's crazy.
Every day. And, you know, Sean Ryan, who talks to a lot of experts, told Tucker Carlson, everything is a lie. Everything that is put out by the media is a lie.
That's why I don't
believe
the cancer.
He would know. He would know.
Well, he's CIA.
I know. But
that's all they do.
Yes.
We're going to come right back. I'll try to take some callers too with Susan. I'll be right back. Kate Dalley Show, KateDalleyRadio.com.
Well, hello everybody. It's Annie Cyrus. Welcome to my art studio where all the magic happens. This is the station for painting, and that is the station for all the resin art I do. If you want to check out my art, all you gotta do is go to lutfstudio.com. But I'm sure for this, I hope I'll see you at lutfstudio.com.
Bohemian Rhapsody, but it was too annoying, and I didn't want to just annoy the utter hell out of everybody, so I can't play it. It was just too awful, even for me, even to suffer through as a bumper. So for a few seconds, we all got that kitty cat flu coming. Anyway, I think we're all going to start going in litter boxes. Okay, welcome back. And also FIQsupplements.com. And if you want to resist the kitty flu, I'm teasing, but you do need supplements from FIQsupplements.com. So FIQsupplements.com, code word is Kate. They do have the best ones. They have an anxiety one, a sleep one. If you have somebody in your family with anxiety, it's great. And also the sleep one is non-addictive. They also have a histamine for allergies. It's amazing. Highly, highly, highly recommend. It's even safe for kids. Anyways, just letting you know. So FIQsupplements.com. Okay, let's talk Gen Z, shall we? Susan?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. Axios had an article that said Gen Z's new side hustle is selling data. They've come up with something called Generation Lab. It's a youth polling company, and it's a new product, Verb.ai. And it's betting that people would be willing to sell their data. So they say to download this app, and then companies buy the data that this app scrapes from your phone, but it pays you. It can pay you like $50 or more per month, depending on what apps you're using. And so you're basically agreeing to be surveilled with this app. And their point was, this is happening to us. Why aren't we getting compensated for it?
Yeah.
So Nicole Nguyen wrote in the Wall Street Journal, she wrote 2 articles, delete yourself on the web and then delete yourself on the dark web.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, your credit card number on the dark web is worth $6. Your PayPal account credentials are worth $100 on the dark web. And your crypto wallet login is worth $350 on the dark web. Can you believe this?
Why?
Why
did they sell this though? I mean, it's just bizarre because you would sell it, would do it.
No.
What?
Well, this is what it's being sold on the dark web. This is the dark web without your permission. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's where criminals are exchanging and selling data. And they said it used to be that your data would be on about 100 sites, but now your data is on like 300 sites. And so in her first article, Delete Yourself, Seriously, Here's How, she gives you the tools and the links to the tools. So you could do it yourself, or you can hire a company to do it. Now, doing it yourself, she says you need to set aside a weekend to delete all of your information this is from the web, not even the dark web. So there's services that will help you do it, or you can pay like $4 a month and a service will continually monitor and look for your data. So she gives links to all of that, but a friend sent this to me and I thought, we do need to take our data seriously. We haven't, a lot of us haven't bothered, but people who understand what's happening in the background here, this is the surveillance and these are the predators.
Right.
So we can take this more seriously.
Amazing.
It is amazing. The dark web, how creepy is that?
Yeah.
What are they using it for? Who are they attaching it to? What crimes are these numbers being used to help, commit? So anyway,
well,
really good information.
Yeah. And back to Biden thing, making him a person with cancer, right? Terminally ill with cancer. There's been
prosecute.
Well, there's no talk about going in. I mean, you're Trump, you get in, you've said, okay, it was stolen. He knows it was fixed, right? So then you think, well, why hasn't he said a word about that presidency? And I've talked about that on the show. And then, of course, Hillary, nothing ever comes down on anybody. It's a lot of chatter, but we don't get actual criminality going their way. And it's amazing as we're watching things play out and nothing ever truly happens. It's just, it sounds good at the time. And when we hear it, we like it. Right. And so, but it never translates into anything.
It doesn't. And our representatives seem very blasé about the whole thing.
They don't. Yeah.
They have really no interest.
No, they're told by their interest groups, you want to stay in office, you're not going to say a word. They've been very silent. They were silent about 2020. Still silent about it. Be right back. Kate Dalley Show with Susan Reeve. Be right back.
Hello, everyone. I'm excited to announce the next generation of energy drinks, Rev 7. It has no sugar and no caffeine. Instead, Rev 7 uses Go BHB. Go BHB is one of the body's primary ketones, and it provides the most efficient and clean fuel that your body needs. It also helps you stay energized all day with no crashes. Not only that, it produces 3 times more brain energy than sugar, which helps boost your memory, focus, and mental sharpness. It also helps reduce stress and helps balance your mood. Rev 7 does all that while being the best tasting energy drink ever. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 20% today. I'm so sure you're going to love Rev 7. For a limited time, you get our introductory 3-pack absolutely free. I drink Rev 7 every day and I absolutely love it, and so will you.
Welcome back, Kate Dalley Show. Is what you're listening to. If you want a flag, an American flag, the Independence Day is coming. This is a good time to get one for your RV, your camp spot, your car, your truck, and it comes with a kit. And all you have to do is go to northpoleflagpoles.com. northpoleflagpoles.com. Okay? He's great to work with. He'll ship it out to you. If you're going to do a flag, do it from him. Okay? There's lots of places you can go get one. Just get one from him because he's a good guy. And that needs to be rewarded. I really like him. And then also, the one for your business. Get one for your business, okay? And he's in my hometown of St. George, Utah here, where I do the show. Canyon Media hosts this show. And but I'm telling you, look, go to him because you're going to love the experience anyway, okay? All right, I've got Susan with me, and that was a little bit of Billy Gibbons. Anyways, all right, back here with you with Susan. And we were just talking off air about the game, the circular game. You know, everything that we're shown in the media, all the things we fight about. The Dems did this, the Republicans did that. The Dems did this, the Republicans did that. And all we get are the arguments, and it's a circular fighting thing because what they're truly afraid of is everybody getting mad at the deep state, coordinating and doing all of these things behind the curtain. And as long as they keep us infighting over all the other junk that happens every day, then they keep our eyeballs off of the deep state and who's truly doing what they're doing, because that's all the facade. And everything that like the Fox News and the CNN, it is happening. It's more scripted than people realize, I think. But anyway, Susan, all right, where are we going?
Oh, you and I were talking about the interview with Dan Bongino and Kash Patel, and how surprised and shocked we were to hear them tell the news anchor that they had been briefed, and this was the wording, they had been briefed on the Jeffrey Epstein case and that he did just kill himself. And they were briefed on the two assassins, and those assassins acted independently.
Right.
And people are so shocked because honestly, the evidence doesn't point to that.
Do you want me to play this? Do you want me to play this clip?
Yes.
I played this
please.
yesterday. I talked about this briefly yesterday. Okay, here we go. Here's Kash Patel and then Dan Bongino. Now, just listen to the way they're saying things.
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Well, I mean, listen, they have a right to their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing, you know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
See how quiet he got, and that's what that was. Okay, now here is Dan Bongino.
Himself. You want me to get? I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
There was a whole lot of sweaty hands, I've seen it. Yeah. Like it was bizarre, and I thought both of them were lying.
There's no explanation for how much evidence there is. The video cameras were off during Jeffrey Epstein's so-called suicide.
Yeah.
And they really do think, I mean, we all know he was some kind of intelligence operation collecting data. And so they would never be able to recruit anyone else if one of their key people committed suicide. It just doesn't work that way.
Or was
so.
off.
And apart from that, apart from the specific bones that were broken in his neck that don't get broken just by suicide, by hanging, and then the assassins. The assassin who's 20 years old. He has 5 phones. There were phones back and forth to DC. And then his house was scrubbed. His house was completely scrubbed, including the silverware. He was on the most perfect perch in Butler, Pennsylvania, to aim and shoot at the president. And the person who had originally been guarding there left and went home.
Yeah.
You cannot say, no rational person would say, and they're trying to tell us this. And it is ludicrous. So I don't know what's happened to them.
Both of them are
I
in
don't
the
know
club.
Side that, yes, that is right.
So like if this was the mafia, okay, and let's say Epstein would be one of your low level thugs because he wasn't, I mean, a dime a dozen of these kinds of guys that do what they do with taping people and holding their secrets and then of course getting them to do what they want, extorting them. So if it was the mafia, this would be a low level thug. And then what the media and the government are doing is having everybody in the country fight over how he died rather than go after the big guns behind the little thug in the mafia, right? So we're not going after the mob boss. We're not going after the bosses. We're going after, we're eyeballs on the thug, right? The low level thug that there's a lot of these guys. And then also make him out to try to be the mafia boss, but he's not. So in that scenario, that's kind of where I dial it down to and what we're looking at. And now everybody is fighting over how he died. And that's not the biggest point, right? The biggest point is that there's a whole network behind Jeffrey Epstein, and it's Mossad and the intelligence agencies all working together to entrap people and to extort.
Well, absolutely. And somebody brought up the scenario. If you were on a plane and some woman comes out and you have bad judgment and then you find out she was 15 years old, why not go and report? And this discussion led to the fact that, well, you're probably a repeat customer.
Mm-hmm.
And so who were these customers? They won't tell us, which tells you something. That is the big tell. They're not, letting us know, and nobody's prosecuted. Nobody's prosecuted.
Yeah.
Except Ghislaine Maxwell. So,
but who knows where she actually is?
Exactly. Is she where she's supposed to be?
Mm-hmm.
So again, they are treating us disrespectfully, and we are just having to turn away. Our representatives are worthless on this and say, focus on your local government. That is where your true power lies. And really, the assassination part is scary.
Mm-hmm.
These presidents who are threatened with assassination, I think it is real, and it probably is the deep state and some foreign actors involved as well. But, they're not going to tell us the truth. We just have to come to this accepted reality that they are who they are and they're not going to change, and we can't make them.
And they're both willing to lie on camera because that was pretty obvious. I mean, I haven't seen a lie that obvious in a long time, but both of them. I mean, I was just laughing thinking, did they really put this out for the American? But that's they probably want to. They probably want people to just digest that factoid of his death rather than how the apparatus all works. Yeah.
No, absolutely. And so I think it was just a shock to the conservative community, because these are two people that have done a lot of good. And so we just expected more. But why? Why would we expect something different than what we're getting?
And then there's the big story of the financial crimes over the trafficking. So the trafficking's kind of been put out there, but it's actually the financial crimes, I think, are much bigger in the background of this, likened into a mob story, and it's more about what was going on, because it was financial transactions and the robbing and looting of the country too. So I think that is something that they don't want discussed. So they dial it down to just the trafficking and just his suicide or not suicide, and the cameras that weren't available during the suicide. I mean, it's become a joke, but they wanted it that way. It's part of the tactic, because then all this comes out, and everyone's like, well, we already know what happened. But it's always about the fact of them wanting us to only discuss certain aspects of it. That's the tactic being used that I think people just have such a hard time getting past that, but I'll come right back. More with Susan when I come back. Susan Reeves with me on a Wednesday. Be right back.
I hear every day about the products you all wish MyPillow carried. Well, guess what? We probably do. Slippers, bathrobes, pet beds, blankets, mattresses, sleepwear, loungewear, duvets, comforters, pot holders, aprons, oven mitts, and so much more. And they're all on sale. For example, get our best-selling standard MyPillows for only $14.98. Body pillows, $29.98. 6-piece bath towels or kitchen towel sets, just $29.98. Multi-use MyPillow 2.0s with pillowcase, $9.98. Save $40 on our Spring Percale and Giza Dream bedsheet sets. Any size, any color, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save up to 80% on all MyPillow products. And I've never done this before. When you spend $100 or more, you're going to get 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free.
Hit the road, Jack is right. Whenever we talk about the illegals coming to this country, it's always hit the road, Jack, for sure. I will be putting those ebooks up. They have not gone up yet, and I had to tweak a few things. And so just letting you guys know, they will go on the site. They will be for sale, and it's research. It's all the things that I've been learning all of these years. So I'm putting it in writing for you, and you can grab these 15, 20-page ebooks based on the topic. Just go to the site. They'll be up soon. And I appreciate, write Kate at katedalleyradio.com and tell me which ones you want me to do, which ones you find fascinating. Okay. I'd really appreciate that. And of course, I've got Susan Reeve with me, and it always cracks me up, the leftists going, you can come to America, come here. We want you to come here and have a life. Can I have a life at your house? No, but anywhere else you can. I feel like shaking them and going, it's not your gift to give, honey. You just because it makes you feel good, and you're not going to do it anyway. So anyway, go ahead. I want to hear about what's going on, the latest.
No, the hypocrisy is so blatant.
Yeah.
This is about South Africa, and the reason I wanted to talk about this is Trump was in the Oval Office with the president of South Africa, and was saying there is a genocide of the white farmers going on. And they said, no, there is not. And so Trump says, roll the tape. And it's a 5-minute expose of people on the left saying, kill the white farmers.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was super blatant. But I was laughing because I think it was Axios who said Trump ambushes the South African president with a tape of the left saying kill the board. But it was like the press did not like Trump putting that out there. They called it an ambush and other negative things. And I thought, he said, I know that there was apartheid, and that was bad. That was the separation of the whites and the blacks and the oppression of the blacks.
Mm-hmm.
He said, but now, I'm not really quite sure using the word genocide.
Mm-hmm.
But it turns out that the white farmers do have a disproportionately high murder rate. But, South Africa is like ranked 5th in the world for its murder rate. Compared to the United States. I mean, it is really shocking. This should give us an appreciation for the United States. So in the United States, it's 6.3 murders per 100,000 people. In South Africa, it is 45 people. It is almost 7 times. It is 7 times larger. And then the rape statistics are magnitudes larger than the United States. They have a rape epidemic. And so you recognize, wow, this culture is off the rails. Trump has cut funding to South Africa. First of all, why are we funding South Africa to begin with? But then he's cut the funding because of what's going on. And he has welcomed in about 50 refugees, white farmers and their families, to the United States as official refugees. And I think there is a case to be made for that if they are being targeted, which it looks like about 50 of them a year are murdered. And over the last 20 years, there's been about 50 a year. So about 1,000 murders from 2005 to 2025. So, it's, there is something there. And I think because Musk was in the Oval Office when all this went down, Musk is from South Africa. And I think Musk has a connection to this. So I don't necessarily think this would be happening, except Musk is involved. And I think Trump feels like he owes Musk favors, like he wants to be gracious for everything Musk has done. It's just an interesting, like, when's the last time we ever talked about this? As a nation, when have we ever been concerned? These murders have been going on for 20 years and more. But now Trump has decided to do something about it. And the left has said that these refugees are jumping the line, which is, again, such almost hilarious hypocrisy. They are such hypocrites. So anyway, this went down in the Oval Office. It was a big drama. The news media was focused on it, but I think it probably did save some lives. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah. There's also, I just hope people are like aware of, and I'm sure they are. I know I'm preaching to the choir with this audience, but just the level of Christianity that's being used so that we all feel good about what's going on. And a lot of people like Pete Hegseth, okay? Pete Hegseth is just part of the club. I don't have anything against him. He's just part of the club, all right? So they're not going to pick anybody in that spot that isn't. But today's headline, this is today's headline. Hegseth leads Christian prayer service at DOD. Okay, I don't think that has to be a headline. I don't know why it's a headline, except for the fact that it makes people feel good about what's happening, I think. So we can feel like things are restored and things are okay when we read a headline like that. And I think that the manipulation of media headlines is beyond what we can comprehend. But I don't know. When you see a headline like that, how do you feel, Susan?
So I think part of this is to activate the left, because they have told the left over and over that the Trump government was coming in and they were going to infuse the government with Christianity, a very specific type of right-wing Christianity, and that was going to happen. And it's part of the 2025 plan. So to hear this,
it's a gaslighting.
It wants the left activated against it, like alarmed.
Gaslighting the left. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. Could be.
And saying, look how dangerous this is. Look how unconstitutional this is. First of all, it's not unconstitutional. But you're right. Why is this a headline?
Why is it a headline? It's just bizarre. And so there's a purpose for it. Make no mistake. And I'm with you. It could be either one, actually. It could be both.
Yes, absolutely.
It could be both. It makes us feel good. It's a feel good measure. I mean, did we love the Looney Tune nut jobs, the guys in dresses and everything else that were parading around in all of these cabinet positions? No. But again, level of crazy, ratchet it up. And then this appears to be now normal for the majority of the country. Although I don't think so much of what's going on is truly normal or should be happening. So it's maybe for both reasons. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, no, and the fact that this rises to the level of media notification and a big news story, there is something behind that.
Yeah.
They're not doing it innocently.
I mean, I love it, right? Don't we love that? I mean, my gosh, bring on the prayer, please, but the medium, I said a year ago, Christianity is going to get manipulated beyond anything that we could ever even envision. And I think that's really going on a lot right now without us even trying to picking up on it. Thank you so much, Susan. Really appreciate you.
My pleasure, Kate.
It was a fun hour and interesting hour, actually. More than fun, interesting. And of course, be faithful, be fearless. I'll see you back here tomorrow on the show, on the Thursday show. And then I'm off on Friday.